never ceded land of the Lekwungen people, known today as the Esquimalt and Songhees nations. The Indigenous community members who have come out over the past weeks to share their wisdom, their support, their songs, have conveyed a knowing that many of us will never have, as they have been doing for decades. Here, we have seen the traditional guardians of Turtle Island oppressed, expelled from their territories, kidnapped, and violated. We have seen firsthand and heard the stories of people who inhabited land that someone else wanted and what was done to them so that that land could be stolen. What I see in Palestine is generations of inhabitants displaced by settlers whose thievery and violence have been supported by so-called Canada. It has taken too many weeks and too many deaths to make the progress we have made so far. Have we learned nothing from our own colonial history? Shame on this government that claims to be invested in truth and reconciliation. No peace on stolen land is a call for justice here at home and around the world. Unfortunately, it doesn't surprise or amaze me that the West hasn't reported the situation in Palestine correctly. My entire life, I've been given the impression that the Palestinian fight for freedom was actually a dispute over holy sites. Who was I, your friendly neighborhood agnostic, to choose sides in a battle based on holy books I had never read? I was embarrassingly unaware of the ongoing apartheid in Palestine. The ever-shrinking territories as people were evicted from homes built by their ancestors, forbidden from using certain streets, unable to travel between the West Bank and Gaza. I thought we had decided that apartheid was wrong when I was a kid, but here we are in 2023, and my belief that the Palestinian people have the right to their own independent statehood, an opinion shared by the vast majority of the world, is somehow painted as a radical one. Here we are in 2023, debating the merits of a genocide. This is why we come together week after week. This is why we sign petitions, why we make phone calls, why we write letters. This is why we fundraise and post on social media and send our love across the world to people like Motaz, Bisan, Plestia, and more strangers who have become our family. We know our demands, and we know in our bones that humanitarianism is always the answer. We demand that Canada make good on its United Nations vote this week and take action to ensure an immediate and permanent ceasefire and an international weapons embargo against Israel. There must be a complete halt to the genocide that is taking place right in front of our very eyes. It is a genocide impacting men, women, and children. There is great urgency to save these innocent civilians from the ongoing crisis of being attacked by one of the most powerful militaries in the world. Al Jazeera has reported that more than 30 children were killed in Gaza in 30 days than in 14 years in Iraq. The people who are still alive shame. The people who are still alive in Gaza are starving to death. Their shelter has been destroyed. They don't have enough water. This is how disease and infection spread. Humanitarian corridors must be opened and remain open and safe from bombing to allow aid to reach these human beings. Settlers are increasing their violence in the West Bank as well, as we know. We speak a lot of innocent women and children, but I want to say on a personal note to the men of Palestine, I see your pain. I see your humanity. I see your work to rescue people. I see you carrying your fellow man in your arms. Collective punishment is a war crime. Amnesty International has verified evidence of Israel's use of white phosphorus, and the Washington Post has verified its use in the south of Lebanon as well, a war crime. The international community must hold Israel accountable for what it has done. Canada should be advocating for this instead of opposing it, and recall its ambassador from Israel and cease exporting weapons to Israel. These weapons must be withheld in order to protect innocent lives. Financing must be withheld by banning all Israeli imports originating from illegally occupied territories. We demand human dignity. The fight for justice is not over. As always, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine!